people better leave me alone. I'm seriously. Yep, yep. You could tell I am salty. Tell tell you what, just be like the men in black and look into this pen because I want to forget this weekend. Look into the pen and join us on the Puddy Pie. Yo, welcome to the Puddy Pie with Mickey and RoRo Wild Card Edition. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, comment, and follow. You know, things are intense around here, and it's playoff time. I mean, this weekend, I was so amped up. I was so amped up this weekend. I was ready to get everybody getting a Puddy Pie, and I may have eaten some of those Puddy Pies. I may have burnt some Puddy Pies too, especially after my Packers had that epic failure. Take a deep breath, and I will give praises to the victors, to the Rams beating the Panthers in a surprisingly close one. The Bears beating the Packers in a head scratcher for me. Bears beat the Eagles, and putting the Eagles out of their misery in a confusing season. And then the Patriots beat the Chargers. And the snoozer, I kind of was awake for that one. And then the Texans beat the Steelers for what I think was the last game for Mike Tomlin and likely Aaron Rodgers.
If you didn't hear, they did break it. Tomlin has stepped out.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And that's a big
Great
one.
coach. Great coach.
Great coach, 19 years for one team, no losing season. That's awesome. But much respect to all the teams that made the tournament, and some lost this weekend, but you got to give them praises. But it's Puddy Pie, and we got to do what we do. Puddy Pie in the wild. That's right, it's Puddy Pie for Wild Card Weekend, and I'm giving my first Puddy Pie to the second half Green Bay Packers. That's right, not the first half ones, the second half Green Bay Packers. Man, for 3 games against the Bears, a division foe, they have been beating the brakes off the Bears in the first half, and they're winning comfortably, particularly in the last 2 games. So it was 16-6 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, week 16. Then it was 21-6 to start the fourth quarter on Sunday, and they lose. And as a Packer fan, I'm trying to reflect. I'm trying to compare it to a moment in my life to make it easier. You know what the Packers remind me? They remind me of Martin on that TV sitcom. I remember an episode with Martin when Gina was going to break up with him. Or it was Martin saying on the air. The first half, Packers like, damn, Gina, I'm a man. I'm going to be all right. So you could step. And that's like the Packers feeling themselves. Then the second half begins. And they're like, Gina, don't leave. Oh, damn, Gina. Oh, damn, Gina, you win. And then the Bears win. It's kind of like that tale of two halves, being tough, and then you give in. Let me tell you. I'm telling you about the first 3 offensive series of the second half. Getting the ball up 21-3. 3 plays, minus 2 yards. Then Bears, I believe, score. Then there's 3 plays, 8 yards. Then there's 5 plays, 13 yards. And then another 3 plays for a minus 10 yards. So a total of 14 plays for 9 yards. Then they eventually score a touchdown. And of course, they miss the extra point. And then they drive, decent drive, and they miss a 43-yard field goal. And yeah, I, as a Packer fan, and other Packer fans around the world, why didn't they win? Damn, Gina, damn. The second half Packers, man, for quite a while, they've been like the Replacements. The movie The Replacements. Remember the scene when the players are like throwing up in the huddle and all of them throwing up, and they had to move in unison to move their huddle? That was the second half Packers. Throwing up and moving away from the barf. Then they lose the lead. So they lose the lead. They start a last-minute drive. Poor clock management, drop passes. Jordan Love had to feel like Shane Falco throwing to Leon Jackson. Drop. But in the end, this loss was based on the Puddy Pie eating Matt LaFleur. I got it right, LaFleur. I was mad, Mickey, when you called him the flower. I was mad, but he is a flower, and I'm blaming on Brandon McManus as well. Come on, man, all the missed kicks. The flowers, like in the press conference, I am disappointed. You know I do. I'm disappointed for the fans and the organization. No, you're not, because you wouldn't have gave them the players the putty pies at halftime. And then there's McManus. This is the worst performance of my career. Really? You looking like Augustus Gloop and Willy Wonka kicking field goals. Putty Pie sucking up the tube of losing. All I say, damn, Gina, stop eating those putty pies. That's why they lost. But it's playoffs. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let's switch to the winning team, the Bears. And everybody like, why the Bears? Oh, Ro, you just salty. No, no, I'm going to give Ben Johnson and his professionalism a putty pie. F the Packers, not shaking Matt LaFleur's hand or being disrespectful. Really? I'm, you know, I'm sure the Bear fans are like, "Oh, well, shut him up, and you don't have to deal with that." But why? The Bears and Packers hasn't been a rivalry for like 20 years. So come on, Ben, shake the man's hand appropriately. And come on, Bears fans, you won. You won a couple of games. For years, y'all been playing like a Philip Seymour Hoffman's character Sandy in Along Came Polly, yelling rain dance, while y'all throwing up bricks. And now you're so disconnected from winning. The Bears fans and coaches, they're yelling like what's his name? Eddie Murphy, Prince Akeem in Coming America. In the face when he's at the Knicks game, when you finally win. Stop, act like you've been there. Act like you've been there. I've had a so-called friend of mine's texting me, F y'all. I'm like, man, there's some pent-up anger up in here. Well, hey, put down the putty pies. Bears fans, y'all winning. Enjoy the season, because I'll just say this, Ben Johnson, I have one name for you. And Chicago found out in year after they went to the Super Bowl that he ate putty pies too. And that's Lovey Smith. So, Ben Johnson, have a good season, enjoy the season, but you better stop eating and selling those putty pies. And that's what I got. But I sound bitter, Mickey. I sound bitter.
Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen. But your name is random, so it's not really RoRo talking. It's the random Packer fan talking.
Absolutely. What you got for me?
Well, I think we could end it on the Packer rant, but I think that was enough. For me, the season was all about the kickers. Kickers. So I'm going with an actual position this week for the putty pies. I'm going with the kickers.
Can you kick it?
Yes, I can.
Can they kick it?
No, they can't. No, they can't. And if people didn't know at this point, you can tell Roro's obviously a Packer fan. I'm a Viking fan. Back in the day, I really thought all kickers were like Gary Anderson until he missed and we didn't go to the Super Bowl. That's when I was, is a kicker necessary? And should they be on the bus? And that was back in 1998. And I'm still, what the heck is going on with the NFL and the kickers? This is 1998. Are they necessary? Are they? Do we need them? The offense goes for two. They don't need a kicker. You don't need a kicker. But once again, do my research. They're actually kind of crucial to both sides, offense, defense, to the game. It's all those putty pie eating coaches that are like, go for it on fourth down, kicker, Bates, sit on the bench. Kickers actually have a lot of pressure. They take a lot of pressure off the offense when they can't get it done. They can't get 6, so the kicker's got to come out and get that 3. Keep us in the game. Get us at 3. But also, for the defense, they're a great advantage. They do their kickoffs. They do these things, field position, the strategic, the finesse, the things they have to do, the wind, and watching that game and watching, like, I think it was a Philly kicker coming out, like, nobody's on the field. He's out there like, okay, I got to kick this way. And he's like measuring it, visualizing his kicks and so forth. They got a lot. They got a lot of pressure on them. And I've always said, we don't need kickers. Now currently there's McManus missing multiple kicks, potential field goal. Let's get the lead. And as you said in his press conference, poor Brandon, he said it was so embarrassing. He couldn't believe he did it. Then you got Luke missing that 44, right? Say no more. Texans kicker. What's his name? Bearbomb? His name says it all. Bomb, bomb. Steelers, Chris Boswell. I was, what the F after that kick? Because I thought he was a borderline Mr. Anderson. So
You're talking
I was
about week
kind of
18.
surprised. But then the Rams kicker, once again, I was like, I got to do a little homework because he actually won the game for the team, I think.
Yeah.
Mr. Mavis, you're a winner. You're a good kicker. And I say all this because it's all kind of bullshit that it's a season of the kickers. Because who the heck put them all there in those Puddy Pie situations? Puddy Pie eating coaches going for fourth down, but the the cookers,
Yeah.
the kickers in those positions. Go win this game. You know it's cold. You know the wind's blowing at 35 miles an hour and you got to hit it 40 plus yards, but get us this win. And the kickers are like, what the F? It's not a dome. What do they want from me?
Oh, listen, I buddy Ryan all those kickers, but who you giving the putty pie to? Who you giving the putty?
Well, I thought you had picked up on it. I was trying to do it softly. It goes to McManus, the Packer kicker.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
I was just, trying to be nice about it. Putting a lot of fodder around it for you.
Well, thank you, but you got the right conclusion.
It is.
That's what you got. You got Brandon McManus.
They're putting cheese curds in his putty pies, I think.
Hey, they putting something. That 3 years, $5 million a year. I want my money back.
Hey,
But yeah,
the
hey,
cheese, those cheese curds are like little weights, little weights.
something. But I know. But hey, I can appreciate your take. I think you're a little soft on the kickers. They all, I'll
I
buddy
think they
Ryan
all
all
belong
them
on the
like
bus.
Lewis
So,
and Dejas. But it's the playoffs, and normally our show probably ends about now. But it's the playoffs, and my putty pie analysis is going deeper. So stick with us. Stick with us.
you have more?
Yeah.
So the part of this was just the Packers. Now you
Yes.
really got a putty pie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, but I see you, Justin Herbert. Stop eating those playoff putty pies. Like a famous Justin said, another famous Justin. The air is thick, smelling tight. You pass to the left, and your receiver went right. And in the playoffs, don't be so quick to run away. That man was fleeing for his life this Sunday. And I'm like, oh, it's Justin Herbert. He ran 10 times. He got sacked 6 times, only completed 19 passes, and had 2 fumbles with one of them lost. I know. He had no protection and he played injured. Okay, I'll give him that. But he's now 0-3 in the playoffs with no good performances on tape. In 3 playoff games, he sacked 13, had 5 turnovers, and only 2 touchdowns to their credit. Now, Justin Herbert, I just want you to know, Jim Harbaugh might not tell you, putty pies are not good, especially during the playoffs. I mean, the pies are sweet, but as you found out, they leave the Chargers fan salty. I gotta hey, you can tell I'm fired up. I'm still salty. I am. It's all right.
I know
But hey,
Raven. I know.
but that was wild card weekend, and it was good to get the games kicked off, and these are the best of the best, and so we were,
Are
again,
they?
congratulations to the teams that made the playoffs, right? But we got to get critical. We got to have a critical eye. But we're about to move into the divisional rounds, and the one thing that I hope, because it was tough for me this week, and I don't know about you, Mickey. It was just watching one game at a time, right?
I had some good naps.
Right? There was a couple you can be like, yeah, okay. But now we're into the divisional rounds, and even closer games and closer analysis, and there might be a couple more snoozers. But again, watching one game at a time, not used to it. We have the Bills versus the Broncos, 49ers versus the Seahawks. We have the Texans versus the Patriots, and the Rams versus the Bears. Any thoughts on those matches?
All I can say, Houston defense is wicked, like really wicked. My advice to the Patriots, because I did nap through your game, I'm not gonna lie. Mr. May, call Tua. Ask where you can get one of those Pac-Man helmets. Double your jock, because Houston's calling your name like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Here's Johnny. They're coming for you. They're coming. And you better be prepared, young man, because they are wicked. And you and I were talking about it. They're like Ravens. The Ravens got that Super Bowl, and they had Trent Dilfer. So and Stroud's not that bad. Offense kind of struggles and everything, but that defense, they scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, they're wicked. I remember a few weeks ago they were playing the Chiefs. I thought they were trying to kill them, but you're right. I would say teams are looking forward. Texans. We'll see how the Broncos look against the Bills, and Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So, and
Josh,
we'll see where it ends up. Right?
the Broncos always have the advantage. We probably mentioned it before in Colorado. Altitude it's for real. It's not a joke, right? And people struggle. If you remember, who was the NFL player that, like, when they used to have to play the Broncos, he couldn't play because of his
Yeah,
illness at this altitude.
it's Ryan Clark. It's
Yeah,
Ryan
there you
Clark.
go. So we'll see how it goes. The Broncos will probably win, but when they get to sea level, I don't know how good they are.
Yeah. Well, they probably won't find out to the Super Bowl, but we'll find out. I think the Bills are experienced, and we'll see. 49 Seahawks should be a good one. Texans, Patriots, rough one. Rams and the Bears. I spoke my piece. So put in your comments again, like, subscribe, follow, do what you want to do. We love to hear from you, but we will see you next week after these divisional round playoffs for championship weekend. Take care. I'm RoRo.
Mickey,
We'll see you next week. Peace.
peace.